We're going to look at how you can create a new column of your choice. You can decide to give it any name of your choice. You can decide to create new column, give it a value, just simple as that. That's basically what we are going to do. But since our data currently is 5,000 rows, so I'm going to limit our data frame. I can say our data to only 5 rows. So it's easy for me just to do this tutorial. But in your case, if you are dealing with 5,000, you have to actually write the entire 5,000. So there are many ways to create a data frame. You can create a column from a particular. So to create a column, I can create a column from a particular column. So let me just create a simple column. So I'm going to just name it new which stand for my new column. Then I'm going to give it a value. And this is a new column that we want to actually implement to set it to a new column. But before we can do that, if I do it like this without actually limiting the amount of data, I can say that I'm going to do for that of 5 rows. So I'm going to set our data frame to really limit it to only 5 rows. To do that, I'm going to set our data frame. I'm going to make use of the iLock. I've explained iLock in web detail. In case you're interested in watching it, the link is down in the description down below. So I'm going to start our row. I'm going to start from 0, and then I'm going to stop in that of the word 5. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5 is going to be neglected. And for that of our colon, now I have to start for somewhere around 0. I'm going to stop in what? In 7. So with this, you can easily try to manipulate it. But before we do that, let's try to print our data frame. So we actually see the column and the row that we have available. So these are the columns that we have that are available. These columns, guys, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we set it to 7, it's going to be here because it says 0 to 7. So here it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is going to be neglected, and the column we set it to 5. So we are going to introduce this of our new column. So right now I'm going to put only 5 values. So I can say something like 1, maybe 34, 6. I can say something like 7. I can say something like 8. It's 5. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It must be the same as the length of the row, like we have seen earlier. If it's not the same, I'm going to have a whole lot of issues that I are going to be dealing with. So in this way, we can set it to be 5 because we specify the row that I want our data frame to be, or I can set our data that we want to get out to be only that of maximum of 5. So next we are going to do is actually to display this on the screen. So we'll see our new column that is being created. We just by making simple, by saying this of our new column, let me zoom it a little bit. By saying this of a new column, I will set it to this value. It's simple as that for us to able to do that. So let's actually see what we get on the screen. You can see here, this is our colon 1, colon 2, colon 3. This dot signify that okay, there's other column before this of our other last column. This is the new column that we created. It was in the last position. So let's actually look at this new column that we created and look at the values that we set for it. So the first value that we set for this of our new column was actually 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And see 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. There's actually what to set. You can see how easy it was for us to actually create a new column in the simplest way possible. There's still a lot of other complex way to create new column, but creating like this is a little bit easier and a little bit better. So that's actually many ways to create a column. Maybe you can start to maybe add 2 columns together to give you a new column, and can do a whole lot of other things. But this just basically how it's going to be. The rule number 1, you should put in mind that the new column you are going to want should be in a kind of a variable set. And then the next thing you are going to, rule number 2, you should put in mind that the amount of information amount of value you are going to give your new column must correspond to the total rows of that of the of your data that is presently available. Like in my own, I set it to 5. Meanwhile, it's actually 5,000. That's why it's able to actually set only 5 values here. When I set the 5 values here, it got displayed in a tabular form. So in the next video, we are going to learn how to move our data, our colon, because this our colon, this new code is at the last, because when you create a new colon, it's going to be moved to the last index. So in our next video, we are going to do our best to move it somewhere around here. That's basically what we are going to do in the next video, because being on the last is naturally only the best way. And there's a situation whereby I want it to be in the front. And what are the reasons for you to creating a role? Maybe in a situation whereby you want to actually do some other thing. With this, we can learn how. Like I said, if the surname and maybe the first name and your surname, the information you got, they were merged together. In a situation whereby you separated it, you can say first name and surname. You can create a new column to hold these two information. There are many uses of this new column to create a new column, but all depends on your choice on the reason you want to make you create a new column and make use of it. So I think this will be the end of this video. In the next video, we are going to move this new column, because it's always a good idea if you can set it in a particular place you want to set it. So I think this should be the end. And then we are going to achieve all this. So thank you for it.